It's Johnny the 5A here, man. I'm here to talk to y'all about the NBA playoffs. The NBA season is coming to an end April 11th, and the play-in will start. And then after the play-in, the playoffs will start, of course. So I just want to talk about the playoffs and the teams that are in it, and, probably the play-in a little bit, and then maybe a little bit of what it would mean to each team. So let's start with crap. Let's start with the dark horses on teams that I think have a lot of potential, but I don't think necessarily are the favorites to win the title. So let's talk about those teams right now. And one of the teams I like to talk about as a dark horse to win the NBA title is this team I'm playing as right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers, I think, are a dark horse to make it out of the East and possibly win the NBA championship. When I say a dark horse, I mean they're not necessarily a favorite, but they have a lot of potential to win it. And they do look like serious contenders. Their two guard duo with Garland and Mitchell is great for three-point shooting. Donovan Mitchell is a great athletic dunker, can shoot the ball, great passing. He's really just improved coming to Cleveland, all in all. And Darius Garland down there in the backcourt with them is going to be great. And then the front court with Mobley and Allen is great for defense. I believe the Cavs are like top 5 in defense in the league right now. So their defense is definitely up to par for the playoffs. The things that I feel like hurt them and are weaknesses that I feel like make them a dark horse, where it's like, yeah, they could win if things go right for them, but they're not really a favorite to win. I feel like they don't have a really good wing. They're very weak when it comes to wings. Like, I feel like a lot of teams like Giannis's, Jason Tatum's, and, teams that have, like, really good wings like Kawhi Leonard and stuff like that, I feel like the Cavs can get really overpowered in that position, and it exposes their big weakness there. And I think that's something they do need to fix going into the next season or off season, make some type of trade to get a wing. But also, charging foul. I also feel like there's a very big lack of playoff experience on the team, besides Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell's been there about basically every year since his career started for the most part. But everyone else on the team is very new to a playoff scenario. It'd actually be their first playoffs, a lot of them. So I do think that since they don't have the experience of a playoffs, I think that might play a role into how they do as well. I'm trying to talk and play. It's kind of hard, but you get what I'm saying. The next team I want to talk about here as a dark horse. Oh, shit. Damn. I threw it out of bounds. Not what I wanted to do. All right, the next team I want to talk about as a dark horse, I think that's going to be on the West, and I'm going to talk to y'all about the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors, they were out of the playoff picture for a while in like the beginning, middle of the season. But once they got Curry and Clay back and they started getting things together, they started making a push, and now they're the sixth seed. Now they're the sixth seed in the playoff picture. And as long as they keep that spot, which they should be able to, I think they are a dark horse to win the title. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people don't have them as favorites right now because of the super team Suns and because of where they're positioned. But this is the Golden State Warriors, and Curry is just an amazing player, and he does the impossible at times. So, it's so hard to talk and play, man. Like, I'm sorry, it's so hard to try to think about things and then play. It's just like, yeah, but I feel like Curry and Clay, you definitely can't count them out no matter what seed they are. But I don't think they're a favorite to win. I feel like the Suns could definitely overpower them and beat them with that super team if everyone stays healthy there. And just where they're at in position, I don't know. And they did lose a good amount of pieces from their championship roster in 2022. So I don't know how that's going to affect them going into the playoffs. So there's a lot there with the Golden State Warriors that could be concerning. But also, I do think Curry and Clay have the potential to actually do the impossible and make it there again. and possibly go back-to-back. Another team I want to talk about is, let's talk about some favorites here real quick. Some of the favorites to win the championships. Let's talk about the East here. Is definitely the Boston Celtics. They made it there last year, runner-up, lost to the Warriors in 6. This year, I think, could possibly be their year because the Warriors aren't as strong as they once were before, and they are definitely looking like one of the top teams. They're definitely looking like one of the top teams in the East from defense and offensive perspective. So, yeah, I feel like definitely they could make some noise in the playoffs and make a finals run even. I do think the competition in the East is going to be stacked, and they're going to have a lot of hard games, a lot of hard battles, especially against the Bucks. The Bucks is going to be a real tough battle for them, and they might end up losing to the Bucks this year. It is very possible. The Bucks is going to be a real tough battle for them with Giannis, and especially if they have Middleton in. It is going to be tough for them. So, yeah, definitely got to talk about the Bucks there. The Celtics definitely for sure are a favorite, and then the Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis and Chris Middleton, I could definitely see making another finals run. If Chris Middleton can play good, stay healthy, Giannis can play good and stay healthy, I could definitely see them making a finals run. I could definitely see them getting past the Celtics, knocking off the Celtics. I can't see it happening. Giannis is a freak of nature on the basketball court. Athletic, strong, fast. And he definitely has improved on his shooting as well, which even makes him a bigger threat. I mean, he's not a top-tier shooter by any means, but he has knocked him down occasionally now. So I will say that, yeah, it's going to be a factor coming playoffs, man. And let's talk about... Oh, damn. Hit that. Whew, hit that shot. Okay, another team I want to talk about is the Philadelphia 76ers. Another possible team I can see contending is the Philadelphia 76ers. I feel like Harden is definitely learning to play better with Joel Embiid than he has really any other teammate. Like, I feel like Harden is becoming a better facilitator, better passer. He's playing with the team better. Now, and he's now in Philadelphia, like I feel like this Harden could definitely make a championship run. I think he definitely this Harden and Embiid duo can definitely make a championship run. I feel like Harden just needs to play smart in the playoffs and not chuck up so many bad shots like he has a tendency to do, because Harden does have a tendency to take really bad shots in the playoffs and just not make the greatest decisions. So as long as he can play well with the team, he can make smart decisions, make smart passes, get good shots off, I think he has a good chance of making a championship run. But he really has to play with Embiid and play with the team if he wants to accomplish that, and he has to show aggressiveness when he needs to. Like if Embiid's having a bad game, he needs to have that Rockets James Harden come out and take over. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Philly has a good shot. It just all depends on how Harden's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Harden's one of those players that when it comes playoff time, definitely is a hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what you're going to get. So hopefully he can make the smart decisions, make the smart passes, and do what he needs to do. But again, a lot of competition in the East, so I can't really say who's going to make it out for sure. These are just predictions. I mean, shit, when it comes to the East, like, there's so many teams that can make it out. It's unbelievable. Oh, nice dunk by Donovan. And another team I want to talk about is the New York Knicks. I will say I'm very surprised at their turnaround from last season to this season. Jalen Brunson really made a difference on that team. They're now the 4th seed. They're going to be going against the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's looking like, in the playoffs. And honestly, I still think I have the Cavs winning against the Knicks in a 7-game series, but I do think it's going to be a hard-fought series. And I do think the Knicks, if they play good basketball and play smart against the Cavs, they could knock us off. It is very possible. I do think the Knicks aren't going to make a championship run by any means, but I do think they could definitely make a showing here. I think they could definitely get a first-round elimination, or even just have some good games in the first round and make a good showing for their playoff team they have this year. I do think they're far away from contending, but I think they're making the right steps, and they just need a few more pieces, and they might be there. Yeah, so that is what I'm going to say for the Knicks. Oh, man, damn. That was crazy. Okay. Let me pull up some stuff here. Hold on. The Nets are the 6th seed. It's unbelievable that the Nets are in the playoffs with losing KD and then losing Kyrie in trades. They got Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie back. And they're the 6th seed, which is amazing that they've been able to keep a 6th seed without really any star player. Coming playoff time, I don't see them doing anything. They're probably going to be a first-round elimination. They just don't have any star power to really stick in there. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't see them moving past the first round. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're an easy elimination for any team just because of the lack of star power. But I do think they have a good building block with Dorian Finney-Smith and Spencer Dinwiddie. I think they could definitely rebuild the team in a good direction if they just know how to make some good trades and do some good management. I think the Nets could be back on their way in real championship contention. Cedi Osman, oh, come on, give it to him. Give it to him, Karras. You know what I'm saying? They got a hit. Okay, well, that was me talking about the, what's it about again? I can't remember now. Oh, the Nets. Yeah, that was me talking about the Nets. The Miami Heat, another wild card team. They are right now currently sitting at the 7th seed spot. They're going to be in the play-in. They have definitely had a drop-off from last season where they were the 1st seed, I believe. I believe they were on the 1st seed last season. They definitely had a drop-off from that. But if Lowry and Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson can all just get their shooting up, get their three-point shooting up, get those percentages looking upwards, I think they have a good shot at making the playoffs, winning the play-in and making the playoffs, and maybe even getting a first-round elimination. Maybe. But do I think they're going to go all the way? No, I really don't. I don't see it. They're a great team, but the way they are right now, I don't really see them making championship run or championship contention. So the teams I have that are contenders, I would say that are your big contenders for making a championship run in the East would be the Bucks, the Celtics, and the Sixers. The Cavaliers, I think, are a dark horse team. I think if things go in the right direction, they can play good basketball and just make good decisions, play smart out there. I feel like they have a good team to make a championship run, but I don't feel like they're favorites to make a championship run, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like they do have weaknesses that can be exploited, and their lack of playoff experience makes them somewhat of a wild card going into the playoffs. Let's talk about the West here. Let's switch gears, talk about the West, because I've been talking about the East for a while. Let's talk about the West here. We got the Lakers going to be in a play-in game. I think they're going to beat the Pelicans. I think the Lakers are going to end up in the playoffs as the 7th seed. I think they're going to beat the Pelicans. I think they'll end up going against the Nuggets. And I know you're all going to hate me saying this, but I mean, I don't know how it's going to go. Nuggets and Lakers, man, I really don't know how it's going to go. It all depends on Anthony Davis's health. It depends on how well D'Angelo Russell's going to play come playoff time. There's a lot of variables in there. But I do think they have a chance to, if they do make the playoffs, that they do have a chance. They're going to be going against the Grizzlies because they'll be the 7th seed, so it wouldn't be the Nuggets, it'll be the Grizzlies. I messed that up. But I do think if they do make the playoffs, beat the Pelicans in the play-in, I do think going against the Grizzlies, they do have a shot of pulling off an upset and knocking off the Grizzlies, especially if John Morant is not back in the playoffs because he has any more issues or anything comes up with him or injuries. I think that the Grizzlies and the Lakers could end up taking advantage of that. Or the Lakers could end up playing better. Anthony Davis could end up putting up good games. LeBron could just ball out and possibly make it past the Grizzlies. So I definitely can see the Lakers as a wild card in the West for sure. I definitely see them as a dark horse contender, a dark horse team to win the championship. They're not favorites to win the championship by any means, I feel, but I do feel like they have the tools necessary, and if everything goes in the right direction for them and they play good basketball, I think they could definitely upset the Grizzlies and even make a finals run if LeBron could just tap into that, old 2017, 2018 Cavaliers run he did. If he could tap into that, there's a good shot for the Lakers making a finals run. But like I said, they're the dark horse, so I don't really expect them to do that. More than likely what's going to happen is the Lakers will win the play-in. They'll go against the Grizzlies, and if the Grizzlies are healthy, I think Ja Morant is probably going to beat them. I think Ja Morant will beat them in 7. I feel like it'll be a hard-fought series, but I feel like Ja will get the edge in 7. Or if the Grizzlies don't beat them, the team in the second round will beat them. So, yeah, that's my opinion on the Lakers right now. Let's talk also now about the Phoenix Suns, which is a big team now. They have that super team over there with Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Chris Paul, and Kevin Durant. I feel like that is the team to beat when it comes to the West right now. That team is stacked and has just so much firepower. I think if they can play well, and they can end up catching fire, I think they're going to be hard for a lot of teams to stop, and they might make it all the way to the championship. They may make it all the way to the finals. And then from there, it's going to be up to whoever makes it out of the Eastern Conference to defeat them. Like, the Suns have so much potential and firepower that I really can't count them out of making a championship run. They are contenders for sure. Then after that, I have none other than the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. I feel like they can make a finals, maybe a championship run here. Jokic, a great center for sure. I feel like his weaknesses could be exploited, though. So I feel like there's a chance of that happening when he enters the playoffs, because Jokic is a great player, but he is very slow-footed at times. So I feel like a lot of teams will mismatch and take advantage of that, especially when it comes to perimeter. Jokic has trouble guarding faster players on the perimeter because of his slow-footedness. So I feel like a lot of teams could create those mismatches and get Jokic in bad positions to where the other team could score very easily. So I feel like there are weaknesses other teams can exploit when it comes to the Nuggets. I do have them as a contender if they play well and they're able to make up for those weaknesses and find a way to not allow teams to exploit those weaknesses. I feel like they could definitely make a championship run for sure. Give it to Seti. Give it to him. Mobley for 3. Let's go. All right, what's another team I'm looking at here? Crap, I'm sorry. I got to pause. I got to go through the list here, man. Next team I really want to talk about is the Kings, man. I am very surprised with the Kings and what they've done this season. Haven't watched really any of their games because most of their games come on their local channels, and I don't have those type of sports channels, but I've heard Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox have been doing good things out there. So as a third seed, I definitely, if they play well with good talent, I think they could win a first, second round series. I don't see them making it all the way. I feel like they're not there yet. But I definitely feel like they have a good building block, and they just need a couple more pieces, and they could be there. You know? A little more experience, whatnot, and they could be there. Danny Green. Give it to him. Damn, I missed it. So, yeah, I got to go with the Grizzlies there. I mean, Kings there. I'm gonna talk about the. I already talked about the Warriors in the beginning of the episode, so I'm not gonna. I already talked about the Warriors in the beginning of the video, not episode. What am I talking about? I already talked about the Warriors in the beginning of the video, so I'm not gonna talk about the Warriors anymore because I already talked about them. They are dark horse contenders. Not favorites by any means, I don't think, to win it, but you can't count Curry and Clay out. And now that they're playing better, they're in the sixth seed. I think anything's possible for them, and I'm not going to rule them out. I don't see them as favorites to win. I feel like it's going to be a hard road for them to win, but they do have a chance, I will say that. The Clippers is another team I'm going to address. Let's stress the Los Angeles Clippers, the other LA team. They got Russell Westbrook in the trade. The whole Lakers trade thing, they got Russell Westbrook. I think it's going to come down to how Russell Westbrook plays for him and how they utilize Russell Westbrook for the LA Clippers. It's going to come down to Kawhi's health, Paul George's health, how Kawhi plays, how everything goes. But I feel like they do have a shot to make the. I do feel like they have a shot to make the championship. I feel like they have a shot to make a championship run. I feel like they're a dark horse. I feel like they're definitely a dark horse contender. I feel like not a favorite by any means, but I feel like if things go right, they're able to play good basketball. They're able to get in their zones. Kawhi is able to channel himself and become that 2019 Raptors Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George is able to play up to par like Paul George is usually able to do. I feel like, they have a shot. I feel like they have a small shot, but a shot nevertheless. But they're just going to have to play really good basketball and make smart decisions, and, just really going to have to embrace their dark horse mentality going into the playoffs. Dallas Mavericks, they're the 11th seed right now, so they are currently out of the play-in and out of the playoffs. They dropped off hard. Hopefully they can at least get the 10th seed and at least make the playoffs with these last games coming up, if it is possible at all. If not, they seriously need to look at their roster and they need to get some pieces. They need to make some trades, get some pieces around them to create a better roster around Kyrie and Luka Doncic. Get some better defense around those two. Get some good wing defenders. Because I feel like when they lost Dorian Finney-Smith, I feel like losing Dorian Finney-Smith really hurt them. He was a good defender on the wing, great player on the wing for them. And I feel like losing them really hurt their team defensively. It really hurt their team a lot. So, I feel like getting some good pieces for the Mavericks if they do not make the play-ins or the playoffs, or even come up short. Just getting some good pieces in general around Kyrie and Luka, some good defensive pieces is what the Mavericks should do to have a better chance at next year's playoffs. Because the way the team's constructed now, Kyrie and Luka are great, but two men aren't going to win a championship. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. It takes a whole team, and the way their team's constructed is not really a good for a championship contender. So, I feel like they just need more pieces when it comes to the Mavericks, if they even make it to the playoffs, which it's looking like as of right now they're the 11th seed, so that might not happen. That's my thoughts on the playoffs. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Thank y'all for